Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We'll talk about social media, what makes people buy, how to go viral, and marketing psychology, all in 20 minutes or less. Whether you're a coach, a stylist, or a wedding planner, if you've got a service-based business to sell, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Warriner, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. What is messaging in marketing, and is your messaging strong enough to convert your leads into clients? I figured this was something we really needed to talk about because so many people are confused about what messaging is, and it really is fundamentally what converts your leads. And if you were to try and look up the answer on your own, like if you Google it, the answer you get is so convoluted and unclear and unhelpful. Let me clarify what messaging is in just a couple of minutes so you can go and ponder how to upgrade your messaging so that it converts your leads faster. You know that feeling when you walk into a grocery store and you realize you forgot your list at home and you're just looking at this overwhelming landscape of colors and prices and options and aisles that are designed, by the way, to confuse you. Did you know that grocery stores will regularly change the layout of their store so that you need to hunt longer to find the items that you're looking for so that you'll be triggered to buy new things and distracted and spend more time in the store? Like there's all sorts of research that goes into keeping you in the store longer and systematically making you less competent at making smart buying decisions. Okay. Anyway, you know that feeling when you're standing there and you just went through the turnstile and you're like completely confused? That's how I think how a lot of people feel. It's probably how you feel when you go to create content, and it is made so much worse if you don't have a content strategy and if you don't actually deeply know what your messaging is. You have all these options. Do I share a tip? Do I follow that trick that I just saw Jenna post about? Like, what do I do? The world's your oyster. There's all these options. When you hone in on your messaging and when you apply that to your content strategy, you have that list in your hand, you know exactly where to walk to, and you are in the grocery store and out of the grocery store and in your car driving home in minutes flat. That grocery list of what you need to buy, that is your content strategy. Not only that, but next week, when your grocery trip rolls around again, you're going to walk in and you're going to know the staple items that you need. You need your milk, you need your eggs, you need your bread. Now that, let's equate to your messaging, those staple items. You need to repeat them. You need to constantly have the fridge stocked with those staple items in order to have like a fully functioning kitchen. The staple items on your list, the milk, the eggs, the bread, that is your key messaging. So even though your content is going to change and grow every single week, you need to remember to stock up on those staple items. That's the stuff that needs to be repeated in order for your followers to understand who you are and why they should work with you. If you don't know your messaging, okay, stay with me on this analogy. Then you're going to walk into the store and you're going to be like, ooh, candy, that's reels, okay? Ooh, cookies, that's, creating an Instagram story where you don't actually really know what you're saying. You're just popping on because you feel like you're supposed to. That's all of these distractions. And then you leave the store without the eggs. You're going to have shiny new object syndrome. You're going to be bouncing around. You're going to be doing things just for the heck of it. And your audience is going to lose sight of your key messaging. And your key messaging is the thing that converts them the most. Your key messaging is things like who you are and why you do what you do. Like go and look at your social media right now and think about when was the last time you actually introduced yourself to all your followers? Is it even clear who you are? Who do you serve? Your ideal audience, you should be describing that person constantly, shouting in your content, this is the person that I serve. You need to be repeating it over and over again so that your followers are well aware of the exact target audience you serve and the problem you solve and the values you approach it with. That's all part of your key messaging. What does your ideal client want? Where are they standing right now that sucks? And can you resonate with them? Can you say, hey, I see where you're standing. I see that it sucks. And I do have a solution over here in my back pocket when you're ready. That's all part of your messaging too. Why should your ideal client choose you over your competitor? That's really important. And like, for the record, I don't really believe in competitors, but you know what I mean. What's your industry differentiator? What makes you different than the next person who sells the same thing as you? All of that goes into your messaging. So for instance, and so now I know I've thrown all this at you and you're like, oh, how am I supposed to put all that into a reel? How am I supposed to put all that into a post? Well, for instance, when small business owners sign on with my social media management agency, we send them a huge onboarding form that asks all these questions, like all these questions I just listed to you. We ask these questions, we go really, really deep. And that becomes the guiding light for our content strategy. And then we write the content strategy and then we stick to it. Yes, there's room for playfulness. Yes, there's room to like add goofy things or like talk about what's going on in the news or whatever. But we are constantly referring to that guiding light of messaging, that content strategy. We know the key points that we need to get across to your audience. And then we batch all that content at once. So every single month includes those really important ingredients in your messaging recipe. So there you go. That's what messaging is. When you nail your messaging, you can stick to it for years. And you also, we're always listening to our clients. We're always adapting and upgrading and improving. But I mean, think about, the stores that you go to now. For the most part, they nail their messaging and then it stays the same. Right? Because it works, because it converts, because when you can really hone in on your messaging on who your client is and how you make their life better and why they should choose you, you can just blast that out on repeat. And suddenly your emails and your posts and everything you write is aligned and you start bumping into people and they know exactly what you do. And then you can increase referrals because your audience who's watching your content, who isn't your ideal client, knows exactly who to send to you because you've been so freaking clear about it. Pretty incredible, right? Hey, if you are looking to outsource your social media, I'll put links down in the show notes and maybe we can work together. And if you are DIYing, do it yourselfing your social media right now, and you want to get clients from Instagram, there's a free training down in the show notes that also introduces Magic Marketing Machine, my program for service-based business owners to help you get more clients from Instagram. And we could work together in there and meet in weekly calls and really get to know each other. And I can help you craft all this stuff so you don't feel like you're doing it on your own. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.